This is the Nomestia podcast, where we return to home as a paste. You are welcome here.
Okay, so this week, Nomestia Diaries, just a little update.
I always wonder whether people actually give a shit about the diaries.
Well, you think they're here for the hard-hitting stuff, like the home education and that kind of thing we did last week.
I watch the numbers and I never know.
Yeah.
Are we just clean the van? That's what people really want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Instagram, how my day looks
In a van.
in a van,
In Morocco.
or my morning routine in a van, or here's a video of me making coffee in a van. That's
To be fair,
that's quite
I think
rude.
people wouldn't have actually got. I think people would have really interested in the crevices that I've got in today.
Yeah, well, vaguely anyway. Yeah, so Nomestia Diaries this week. Naomi, where are we?
Oh, I haven't moved.
Oh yeah, we're still in Agadir.
I haven't moved since the last one.
Have we literally not moved?
No, we've not moved.
We've not moved.
Well, we've been here now about 10 days, haven't we? And we
God,
are
is it that
we are
long?
going to move. We are going to move tomorrow.
Yeah,
So that's why we clean the van.
yeah.
We always do a little, in case anyone cares, do a little clean down before we move the van. That's what we like to do. Do a little
That's
brush
what
up.
people want to know, Noms.
But we're going to move because we love Morocco, but we're ready now to start making our way to Spain.
Yeah. We've absolutely loved Morocco, but yes,
We're ready now.
feels like the time. So we're going to start a slow meander up the coast.
Yeah, we've got a couple of jobs that we'd like to do and a couple of things that we still want to see again. We've seen them, we want to see them again.
Mm-hmm.
Coastal Road from Agadir to Imswan is the most beautiful drive that I've done in Morocco.
It's
apart from
absolutely
the
stunning,
Atlas.
yeah.
Apart from the Atlas,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful. So we've done it a couple of times, but this time I want to do some video footage of it and
Yeah, just take it slower this time.
yeah, take it slower. And I think it's been really interesting to witness that. I saw somebody say recently that for them, slow travel isn't about necessarily being slow in the sense that they're not moving, but it's like the intention of where do we go next. So it is slower rather than rushing. And what I really sat with, that's my next video actually, because I really want to talk about savouring a place to the point where you know it intimately, to the point where I want to know a place, I want to know somewhere until I can literally deeply understand what that place means to the people who live in it. I don't really ever want to just pass through somewhere ever again, because apart from, as in intentionally, because sometimes we are going to have to pass through places in order to get to the place that we want to spend the time, obviously.
Can't stop in every flipping village.
No, but what I mean is like, I want to really deeply understand where we are
Yeah.
and where we're staying and where we're moving to. I don't ever want to just be like, it's that, for me, it's that I don't want to just do Portugal in 2 weeks. You know, when we were in Portugal, we actually hung around the Algarve for 2 months. And we can tell you a lot about the Algarve now as a result of that. It's like we will have been in Morocco for 5 months, and I would love to tell you everything that you want to know about Morocco. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm excited to go to Spain, and the plan is to spend a lot of time in Andalusia and then make our way slowly up through rural Spain. And I'm going to convince you to go back to your university home of Barcelona.
Oh yeah, no, we'll definitely make that work. We'll definitely make that work. What we'll try and do is we'll try and do a episode like the Marrakesh episode, but for Barcelona.
Well, you
that's
know
a challenge, isn't it?
Well, you know it.
This is why I'm like reticent, because I'm like, I think Barcelona's a tricky customer to try and do with the children, you know, in a day.
But I don't think we should do it in a day.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
potentially we're
saying.
going to do it a bit more intentionally.
Yeah, because like Marrakesh is tiny compared to Barcelona.
I mean, yeah, I would say it's probably.
Yeah, well, the area of Marrakesh that you actually explore as a tourist is pretty small. So, whereas from what my understanding is,
like,
yeah,
there's like bits all over, dotted all over the place.
I'm excited to explore Spain, because the only time I really deeply been to Spain is on a family holiday in a villa in the middle of, it was like timeshare from my grandparents.
That is a classic.
Grandpa used to do a puzzle by the pool, and then we used to spend time in the pool. So I don't really know Spain, and I don't know what area of Spain that was.
I mean, to me, that sounds idyllic.
It is idyllic, but I want to see more of Spain. I would love the children to see more of Spain.
No, that's the thing, because we had a lovely time in Sevilla, for example.
Yeah.
And so we kind of want to do a bit more of that, a bit more sort of city, like exploring cities and like other bits and pieces.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see, because Sevilla had that, like we were talking, it's influenced by Morocco. And I'm really excited to spend that time in Andalusia to see the influence that Morocco has had on Spain, and almost be a gentle integration from Morocco, you know, because you can still see and feel Morocco without it being an abrupt, we've left and we've moved all the way up and out of that.
Yeah, less of a culture shock.
Yeah, maybe. I'm hoping so. I don't know. I mean, when I went round Lidl in Ceuta, it felt like a culture shock. So I don't know.
We'll see how we go.
But it's that time when you know that you've kind of completed a place, when you're not intentionally here to stay long term anyway. So, you know, you could always stay in Morocco for ages and ages and ages, but it's come to a close, I think, gently. So that's been nice.
No, it's been good. So, what are we talking about this week? So the girls turned 8, and as a little treat for them, we said, all right, we'll take you guys to CrocoPark in Agadir. My first question to you, Gnomes, is it CrocoPark or CrocoPark?
Oh, I thought it was CrocoPark.
Or C, neither of the above?
I thought it was CrocoPark.
It is CrocoPark.
Why?
Because in my mind, in my mind, it was CrocoPark.
All right.
And I literally looked it up before, because I was like,
Croco.
we need to kind of get it right.
Well, we'd driven past it a couple of times, and I'm not a zoo person. I don't take the children to the zoo. I'm not really sure I believe in zoos.
You've heard our chat about the macaque monkeys and the snakes in Marrakesh, so you know how we feel about, and the camels, and so you know how we feel about, you know, the animals.
Anyway.
And, you know.
I'm not into it. I mean, they say that it's, look, obviously I don't understand it enough, maybe, but they say it's for, you know, saving certain species, and they breed certain species that need to be, you know, but I don't know, it's like weird. I mean, we went round that one in Kent, what's it called? Wingham.
Yeah.
And, sorry, I'm just not into it.
No.
I'm just not into it. Anyway, so we went there anyway, because two people with their children said that it was highly recommended, and one said that their children, when they asked what was the last thing you want to do in Morocco, they said they wanted to go back to CrocoPark because they loved it so much.
Oh, they wanted to do it again?
Yeah, so they did it twice.
Oh.
So I was like, all right, well... and
would I go back?
No, I wouldn't go back.
No, I think we did. I think we did it.
We went round twice, so... Overall consensus of CrocoPark in Agadir, if anyone ever visits.
Okay, first off, price.
Oh, yeah, it's cheap.
This is the thing. Like, obviously, we're in Morocco, so like things are always a bit cheaper. So for 5 of us, it probably came to
in pounds about 25 quid, I imagine. If you converted it, it's probably about 25 quid.
Yeah, it probably was about that, wasn't it?
Tip tap. It's not exactly Wingham prices. Let's put it up.
Yeah, exactly. You know, for Wingham, for 5 of us, it was like 100 and something, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at... I thought, oh, let's go Disneyland on the way back. Everyone says that's nice. Sorry, did you just say 400 fucking euros for one day? I hope that I'm carried by the fucking princesses on a carriage the whole day for 400 euro. Oh.
Hey up.
We've got the mosque. We haven't had that go when we've recorded.
It's a shame because he didn't clear his throat like he usually does.
Love a clear throat guy.
This guy in Agadir Zoo, sometimes
he's got it down.
like...
No, he's got it down, this guy. I've never heard him.
Nah, only in the morning though. But you can imagine at 5 o'clock in the morning, like, you always...
I don't hear him at 5. It's Eid today, so he might go for a long one.
It might be a long one, do you think?
It might be.
Maybe we should just...
Just let him end it.
What am I going to do in the edit? That's so annoying. Like, what am I
think just keep it.
Just keep it in.
Yeah, it's part of Morocco.
You're all about like the natural edit, aren't you?
I love it.
Yeah. Keep it natural. Anyway, sorry. Let's just carry on.
Yeah,
it's quite nice. It's quite a nice background, isn't it? I find it lovely.
Well, that's what Paloma said. She's going to be really sad about not hearing the mosque. You know, the other day when
like church bells. A, you don't hear them that often, and B, they're not really the same, are they?
I lived next to a church, right next door. My window was level pegging with the clock of this church. Those bells got right on my tits.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not into a church. This I love.
Yeah.
The closer we are, the better to a mosque, in my opinion. I love it.
I do love it. I think I genuinely will miss it.
I genuinely will miss it.
Yeah. That was lovely anyway.
So
Sorry,
anyway,
yes. CrocoPark.
it was...
CrocoPark.
Look, what did you think of it anyway?
What I will say
Yeah.
is a lot of crocodiles.
No, I'm not into this. Right. This is my biggest thing. Okay. Are they rescuing them? I thought, a bit weird. Do we need to rescue crocodiles? I don't really know. Anyway, they're not there to be rescued, are they? But there were two that were a mating pair that they had got, which were from Morocco.
And they were a rare breed.
They were a rare thing now. So what I didn't realise was that they used to have crocodiles in the Dra Valley where we drove, in the river there.
So that was the valley coming out of Zagora, where place where they farm dates, basically.
Yes. So they were from there. Well, they used to be there,
Yeah.
appearing naturally, and then I think basically they were just caught and eventually they've died out. So that was their argument for it. But those crocodiles that they were hundreds of were from the Nile.
Right, yeah.
So I'm like, no, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
But what I really didn't find comfortable was that they were literally assisting them with the breeding by rescuing the eggs, which apparently the mother or the breeding pair would watch over. So they were rushing in, showing a video of them, getting the eggs.
Yeah, digging up the eggs from the sand.
And what I will say, a baby crocodile was the ugliest baby thing that I've ever seen in my life. It's fucking disgusting.
It's no kitten or a puppy, is it?
This is the thing. Everything mini, you normally say, I'm going to take that back now. You know, when you're like, oh, everything as a baby's cute. Not crocodile.
No, crocodile.
It's literally the same thing. But like, weirdly mini.
Yeah, saw some of those, didn't we? Yeah.
They're so weird.
They were weird, weren't they?
They were so weird. And then they had, but then what I did like about it, things I did like about it, I love, by the way, how many chickens would they have to be feeding them? You know they're feeding them chickens out of a wheelie bin? How many chickens?
No, I mean, I feel like...
How many chickens to keep that many crocodiles alive?
Well, that's the thing. We saw like a feeding time.
Yeah.
And see, I've been watching a bit too much Steve Irwin back in the day. God bless Steve Irwin.
Steve.
And so like for the feeding, I was expecting to see some guy come out with a mic, go, "Hey, my name's Abdul. I've come to feed."
You can't stop. My name's Abdul.
Oh, it's like, well, okay, Mohammed, whatever. What do you want to do? There's a lot of people here called Abdul or Mohammed, isn't there?
Oh no! Well, you can't say it's like saying someone called John or fucking Paul. What are you? Just say a guy.
Yeah.
A guy comes out on his mic. Anyway, I don't know. You said this to me. I thought, you're nuts.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought.
Genuinely, you thought.
I don't know why I thought that there would be like some kind of demonstration. Or, you know.
A demonstration of what?
I don't know. But I've never been to a crocodile zoo before, okay?
What do you think it's going to do? Wear like one of those falcon gloves and come out and start fucking feeding them by hand?
I thought he might be like within the crocodiles. That's what Steve Irwin used to do.
Yeah, then he's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, but that was a stingray, wasn't it?
I don't think... I just couldn't believe that that's what you genuinely thought. You didn't think they were going to be by the fence flinging in chicken feet.
Yeah, I mean, feeding time, it was...
Underwhelming.
It was underwhelming in terms... Well, certainly for me, because it wasn't some guy going out there with a mic and giving a demo. Rather, it was just some guy in an overall and a wheelie bin full of chicken, just chucking it over to the crocodiles. But I mean, it got them to move. Like in general, the crocodiles weren't moving very much, so you know, it got them moving.
The children waited, and they were like, "This is so boring."
You You and the girls, you
We
just
just gave
wandered
up.
off. Me and I were like,
I'm sorry,
oh,
but
yeah,
once
it's
you've
quite
seen
interesting.
one crocodile awkwardly pick up a chicken, you've seen a million. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't anything exciting about it, was there?
No, true.
Anyway, what I will say about the park, positives, very beautiful.
No, it's just really well kept,
Yeah,
really clean.
loved
Like
it.
nothing sort of shabby. Didn't feel shabby at all. Didn't feel like like it needed a renovation or anything.
No, it was stunning.
Yeah.
Their gardens that they had, so they had these like ponds with loads of frogs and loads of fish, and then they had these water lilies, and they were from different areas of the world. And they had the biggest water lily in the world, and the children loved the fact that they could hold like a child on it. So that was really beautiful. And then the other thing I really loved was the iguanas, which were free.
Amazing. I think the iguanas was my favorite bit.
Favourite. They had like this beautiful, I think the cactuses have been donated. They had these stunning cactuses which kind of rivaled the cactuses in some of the gardens in Marrakesh, to be honest, with these beautiful iguanas of all different colours just around. You literally be eye to eye with them, which you weren't into. You thought,
I found them very weird.
you thought they were going to attack or something.
I literally thought they were going to go for me.
They were. What for? What did they want you for? They're not going to go for you, were they? They want a fly or some shit. They're not into you.
Yeah, I don't know.
You were like, what? No. You kept going. You became one of those bloody helicopter parents.
Yeah, I was. Because Paloma was going a bit, you know what Paloma's like with animals. She's going a bit close.
Is that what you on about?
Not into that.
It's just sitting there. And then they had the babies were cute.
Oh, yeah, the baby iguanas, yeah.
Were really cute, and they were looking after them and explaining on a little sign why. They had English on all the signs, French and Arabic. And then the other thing was they had massive tortoises as well.
Oh, yeah, love
which
all
was
that,
cute.
yes.
And then they had adventure playground for the children, which was like a small one.
Yeah.
And then they had a rope thing that you could walk over and see all the iguanas still. And the other thing they had was snakes, massive snakes.
Yeah, like an anaconda.
It was
like
massive.
Big pythons,
Yeah. So, I know weirdly coloured. I don't know why the colour of it was like that, but they had a waterfall. Well, and that's where behind the waterfall they had like a little cave where you could see the baby.
That is the question I
Yeah,
wanted
why was
to
it
ask
that colour?
one of the staff. Why is the water it's clearly been dyed green?
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
But that water I don't think was touching anything else. I think it was its own ecosystem. But yeah, it was just the fact that the crocodiles, obviously being CrocoPark, were the main part of it, and there were just so many, and they were just like lined up, and I was like, wow, someone should stop these from breeding, because how long do they live for, a crocodile? That was the fact I was going to ask you.
I don't know.
Anyway, so that was CrocoPark.
We're going to talk a little bit about donuts, and I'm not talking about the guy who just shouts "donut, donut, donut" on the beach.
Loma's going to miss that.
Yeah, I know.
10 dirham a donut, mate.
Yeah, in the
It's like 80p a
beloved
donut.
donut guys.
Not little
on
donuts.
Tagazoo Beach.
Sometimes Nutella donuts.
Oh,
Actual Nutella as
yeah,
well.
actual Nutella, not just.
Some of them, just be warned, if you do come to Morocco to buy donuts, sometimes they're filled with the weird, as Paloma would like to say, gelatinous chocolate. It's not the right one. So, yeah, there are always donut people on the beach, but sometimes they're not the Nutella ones if you like a chocolate one, just as a pre-warn. 10 dirham, though.
So-
Don't let them do you out of 20 dirham. It's 10 dirham for one of them.
Oh yeah,
It's 10 dirham.
Ashra dirham.
Ashra dirham.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're not talking about that.
So no, we're not talking about those kind of donuts. We're talking about donuts, and actually, we're doing a bit of a retro thing. You know, obviously we started traveling from like the 30th of October last year, and in reality, we only started the podcast when we were in Morocco.
It's a crying shame because we had some stuff to share.
Yeah. So we're gonna add in the odd retro
Well, we
thing
might.
as we think about it. Well, it got brought up. Basically, we're staying in this car park in Tagazoo. Now, a risk with staying in car parks, the ones that are badly rated on Park for Night, is because they're hangouts for local petrol heads. I know you're more familiar with this world than I am.
I had an accent to it, yeah.
Yeah. So, they like to drive their cars and
Open the
do
bonnet.
little things. And,
Ali is such a petrol head. They just do some shit with their cars.
yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, we were staying at this really nice car park in Beach de Gailey in Portugal, and it was actually when we were it was actually quite late at night, wasn't it? And we were all in bed.
It was like midnight.
Yeah, and literally, obviously, we weren't quite asleep because Naomi and I.
No, but I think we were asleep.
Do you think we were asleep? When
it
we were
woke
woken
me
up?
up. Yeah.
And suddenly this car had its full beams on and started doing donuts in the car park and going round and round and round. It was getting slowly closer to our car and was probably missed our van by about
Centimetres. I'm talking centimetres.
No, it wasn't.
Fuck off. It was like less than a metre away.
Like, I've got a picture of the tracks it left. I could try and track that down. But yeah, no. It got really close to the van and we were like, what the bloody hell is this idiot doing?
The reason why it triggered me, it reminded me of that story was because there was a car that came down this car park and it was revving and my body tensed and I was like, why am I tensing at a guy that's like revving his engine and coming down the car park? And suddenly I went back to that memory, which I had kind of repressed from that experience. And then it just, I find this experience so visceral in the van that I think we don't realise how how visceral the experience is. How you are is like a thin veil between you and the outside world at all times in the van. And so when my body just went into that tense mode, it's like that remembrance instantly came and that safety net suddenly felt like it was dropping and shit, like, oh shit, we're in this car park. Oh shit, there's that, that noise again. And that was just one experience, but it's going to take a lot to unravel from that. Maybe you never unravel from that. And that's a reminder of what these experiences in life, not just because we're living in a van, but any experience that you have, it's a reminder that when you consistently put yourself into the same scenarios again and again and again, you're going to have to undo the original outcome of that. For me, it was when he came down the road, because it's a long track to that car park. Not a track as such, but it's like a single track road. And he was revving really, really loudly with his full beams on, like full. And that's what woke me up first. And when he drove in the car park and I watched him drive in because I woke up to hear him, and you hadn't fully seen it then.
Maybe not, yeah.
And then I saw him drive in and instantly handbrake turn. And the thing is, right, is that was a gravel car park. So he could have fucked it. He could have lost control. And if he'd have lost control, he'd have hit the van. And there was our van and a couple of other vans. And I just remember thinking, he's going to hit our van. He's going to lose control. He's going to hit our van. And that was, and I kept thinking at that point, oh shit, like, that's it. How much is he going to hit the van? And fuck, like the children's, I'm just sitting here watching him do that with the children.
If he hits the van, are we going to get like badly injured?
Yeah.
Or, are we going to be protected? Like in that moment, it's like, oh crap.
And I'm like sitting there in a freeze response and the children are literally asleep.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do?
What are you supposed to do? And he was that close that if you were to go and like watch somebody doing donuts in a car, you wouldn't stand that close.
No.
So it was, but he didn't stop. That's what got me. He just kept going and going and going and going. And I remember gripping your hand and being like, fuck. And I just remember lying there being like, fuck, 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 fuck. And I remember saying it, being like, fuck, is he going to stop? Is he going to fuck? Is he going to hit the van? And then he just drove off. And then I remember lying there for like another hour thinking, is he going to come back? Is he going to come back? Is he going to come back? Because if he'd hit the van, he'd have driven off.
Yeah, exactly.
If he could have driven off, he would have driven off. And I remember when we left, there was the top car park where people said, don't park there because the police will find you. And you could see the lines. He'd done at the top as well, hadn't he? Fucking idiot.
It reminded me actually of the when we first arrived in Morocco, actually.
Oh my God. I forgot about that.
That's it. That's the thing. It brought that up for me as well.
Oh my God.
So, obviously, one thing to bear in mind when you're driving in Morocco, depending on where you are, there's quite a large police presence.
Massive.
So, basically, in certain areas, there's like every single roundabout, there's like a police car and a small patrol of, and they're stopping vehicles.
We never know why.
Seemingly random, yeah. I mean, why is he stopping that truck?
Sometimes that's just stopping, and sometimes they have a speed camera, and then they're pulling them over.
Yeah.
But basically, they're more prevalent in the north than they are in the south.
Yeah.
And we'll probably talk about this when we talk about what we're going to do. 10 things about Morocco.
I don't know. It's 10
Top tips.
No, it's not top tips though. It's like
Is it?
It's like 10 things. I don't know. Maybe 10 things I wish someone had told me about Morocco before I came to Morocco or something like that. Catchy.
Sounds like 10 things I hate about you. That's like
something like that.
Long,
anyway,
okay.
We'll come up with a title.
But anyway, you have to slow to 20 kilometers per hour. I'm only working kilometers per hour now because we're now on the continent. So fuck knows what that is in mile per hour. I've forgotten.
Yeah.
And you slow down, drive 20 because all roundabouts are technically 20 mile an hour anyway when you go around them.
Right.
So if you go over 20, you're technically breaking the law of the roundabout, which is why I think some people get pulled over. And then you sometimes have to halt. And if you don't halt, they love it. Even if they're looking at you, unless they've waved you through, you stop.
Yeah.
At all times until you categorically get a wave through. Because if you don't, they'll fine you. They love a fine.
Yeah.
That's all the police do is fine you out
Plenty
there.
of people in their vans.
Have been
It's
fined.
like it's almost like a badge of honour, isn't it?
Well, I haven't had anything,
But,
and I'm touching
I mean,
wood.
good luck with getting Big V up to that speed.
Yeah, I don't really go over the speed limit because she can't.
Yeah, it's literally limited, and
She's literally limited.
she's a slow old girl.
But the thing is that some people have got the same thing and still been done. But anyway, these police things, they generally also funnel you with cones as well. So sometimes they're funneled. But either way, they are slowing traffic at roundabouts and they're trying to stop certain people. So we had been driven a grand total of an hour in Morocco.
Yeah, if that.
An hour in Morocco, barely.
Yeah.
We weren't anywhere near Chef Shawan. We'd literally just started. We were buzzing with excitement, and we were like, and I was like, here we are. We've seen the police. We know what the vibe is, and we were coming up to this police stop, and I was like, get the vibe and know what I've got to do. Feeling a bit more confident, and then what?
And then this guy. The police officer was trying to stop this guy.
Right.
Who had decided.
No.
Actually, I don't want to be stopped by the police today. I've had enough of this nonsense. Who proceeded to...
Oh my God.
Well, it was...
No, because
there was 2 lines of traffic,
there was 2 lines of traffic, and then basically...
He was on the other side.
No, yeah, so he had gone to the left of us. He was at the left of us, and obviously they'd already tried to stop him. And then I don't know what had happened and transpired, but basically the police were stopping us to blockade, to use our van and the other cars to blockade him from leaving the situation. Which we didn't work out quick enough.
Yeah.
The other cars did. He then proceeded to ram his car away from the police in reverse at the van, and you were screaming.
Yeah.
I was screaming, and we were both like, "Oh fuck!" And and I was like, "Is he going to stop? Is he going to stop? Is he going to stop?" And then he just rammed it forward before our van, and then the other cars started moving because
they were like,
fuck
fuck
that.
this, I'm getting out of the way.
And then we were like, fuck. And then
we weren't in a position for any nifty manoeuvres, were we? Like, I can't do anything with the van.
the fucking van. And then he just slams in front of us and drives off. And we just sat there, like, and the police were like, chasing after him and shouting.
He was like, he got on his radio and it was like,
on his radio. And we just sort of sat there like, oh, fuck, is this Morocco?
What have we landed in? Jesus.
But then that has never happened again.
It completely was a false...
It seems that they normally at all times abide by the police. They flash you if there's any sniff of a policeman. You can see they're very courteous on the side of the road, just like suck it up. You know, they're always like, you can see the like gestures. They get like, they seem to in Morocco be like, fucking police just gonna have to suck it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we're gonna have to just take the hit. But that, I don't know, maybe he didn't have insurance, because you have to have the insurance, you have to show your papers. Maybe he didn't have something, maybe he had an argument. But all I know is that was
another close call.
I thought that third party, that ain't gonna be worth anything with him.
No, absolutely. Now,
is this
has
it?
all been just like amuse-bouches for the main...
For me being ill this week. Is that what we're going to talk about?
You being ill this week?
Yeah.
No.
No.
What are we talking about, Names? Okay, so...
Me being ill?
No.
I've been very ill.
Yeah, you were sick for some reason. You and
Actual
Paloma.
vomiting with Paloma at the same time, tandem.
Yeah, couldn't really work out. I mean, there was nothing controversial that you eaten, so it must have just been like a bit of a tummy bug.
Someone asked, shout out to Amy who listens to our podcast and feeds back. She was the idea for the jingle in between the little bits.
Yes.
She knows. She said, how did you tandem vomit in a van? And so, good hack was we always use the bottom of the water
so
tubs.
Obviously we're always drinking like the 5-litre bottles of water, and I always have my trusty Stanley knife to hand to make it into a little, to cut the bottom off to make it into a little bowl.
So we had one each.
So I was like, whoop, we need 2. Quick.
No, it was me going, you were going to have to get another one.
Yeah.
And then I was right.
Oh, fortunately, I've got another bottle. So let me just get my Stanley knife and I'll make another one.
Arla and
Both of them, literally at the same time.
Arla and Xanthi were just sitting there like, I could see them. And I actually remember when I was vomiting laughing, because I just thought it was so ludicrous that we were vomiting at the same time.
Honestly.
Like, started at the same time.
Yeah.
And then just were like simultaneous all night.
And it was, all night.
It was all night. It's brutal.
That was a brutal one.
Yeah, so the actual thing. Go on then. I don't even know how you...
the context is...
Can I just say that this is a trigger warning? I think it's a trigger warning
in terms of death.
Death, yeah.
Yeah.
So just to bear that in mind.
So we parked up in Tagadir Zoo, but the other side of Tagadir Zoo, on a place called Anchor Point.
Yeah.
Which was like a really nice little car park, and like right next to this little beach. We just sort of decided we'd maybe just stay there for a couple of days, maybe 3 days, and we got there, and weather was beautiful, so we went down to the beach. It was really nice. The beach had like these rocks sort of on one side, so I went to go for a swim, but then there was a lifeguard there, and he was blowing his whistle, which I'm always like,
here we go. You've been whistled at so many times in Morocco.
Yeah. It's never that I don't respect the lifeguards, but I think it's almost like it's like
the policeman whistling at you.
Yeah, it's like a deep-seated shame thing, isn't it? It's like, oh, I've been a bit naughty. Sorry. So yeah, no, he was telling me to go further away from the rocks, basically.
Well, the current as well.
Because the current was seemingly pulling across, wasn't it?
Well, the locals told you that because he didn't.
Oh yeah, they went to go chat with the guy and ask what the situation was, wasn't it?
Yeah, so they explained it to you.
Yeah. So that was all good, and we stayed there in the night, and it was fine.
But I was getting pissed off with the flies.
Yeah, was it quite fly heavy there?
Well, that's because then the next day the children were like, "Oh, maybe I want to go back to the original car park," because they were the ones that said they didn't want to be here because.
The children, we were kind of umming and ahhing whether we want to stay at this place.
No, but then they said they didn't, and then in the morning they were like, "Oh, maybe we will stay." But Arlo doesn't like it when there's loads and loads and loads of flies, like biblical flies, which has happened twice, and that was one of the places I felt it was just like ridiculous number of flies.
Yeah, was it? It was quite bad, wasn't it?
Yeah. So then we were thinking about it, but then we did move anyway because
Well, this is the thing. Like, it was in the morning. I was like looking out to the sea. It was slowly becoming clear that it was a dead body being washed up, and like such a slow, like, is that a, is it? It is,
Well,
isn't it?
Well, then you came to the front cab, so the children hadn't seen it at this point.
Yeah.
And then I was looking as well when you started saying, and I had seen it out the corner of my eye, and I started to notice that it kind of felt like the way that the at that point thing to me was moving
exactly.
didn't seem to make sense based on what I would have said I've ever seen in the sea. I think what felt quite challenging to witness was the way that it just slowly appeared, and the way that the sea is almost that reminder of how the Great Mother behaves if you don't respect it for what it is, and we have spoken to the children so many times, especially when we were in Margate, because the tidal pool is beautiful, but as soon as that tide comes in, there are elements where you can get trapped, and there's been quite a few incidents with children getting trapped down there. Like, I remember speaking to somebody who told me that they rescued a child from when they're in the car park because the child was got caught in the water, basically. And if you grow up by the sea, which is not where I grew up in the Midlands, so you don't really understand the power of current and tide times, and so you have to learn to respect her. You have to learn to respect her, and that doesn't mean you're going to avoid anything, but it means that you have a level of understanding of where the dangers are. And that's when we were speaking to the other time we were talking about surfing. It's when you know a bay and you know the sea and you know it, then you, like in Margate, we would know all of the beaches around there.
This is the thing. It's a case of sometimes it can be a bit sort of trial and error. Like, sometimes I've gone out for a swim in the sea and it's been like, oh, I am getting pulled a bit strongly here. I need to get in as soon as I can.
Yeah.
And it's been a bit of a struggle to get back into the thing. And it's like, okay, well, I've got away with that. I'm not, I know now I'm not going back out there.
Yeah. It happens. Like, there are stories of families where, one of the parents has been killed in front of their children with the current. It's like that these times do exist. But it was just seeing the body in that way was pretty harrowing. And then we as parents were left with this decision to make in that moment, real time, because the children at that point hadn't seen the body being washed up, but they were in the back of the van, and we were like looking at each other thinking, okay, well, our option's pretty minimal. Because we're either going to pack the van up, which takes too long. It's not like we're in a car and we can just nip off and be like, oh, sorry.
No. Let's just close those
let's just close that, and we'll that wasn't the reality of what we were all about to witness. And they instantly were questioning it, because they're always looking out of the van and the door, and we had to sort of allow for each one to have a response in their own way. And it kind of reminded me, I don't know if it reminded you, but it reminded me of when Xanthi had her seizure, how each one kind of dealt with it, apart from Xanthi, because she was actually in the seizure. So, but it was interesting how each one wanted to witness this experience in their own way, and they'll probably live in their bodies. They'll remember this. Because they also witnessed a cat being killed in Morocco, which we've not spoken about, and that was a harrowing experience. It literally happened right next to them on a rug, and they witnessed death right there and then. In fact, the cat didn't instantly die, because I smacked the dog over her head with a stick, and then it just sort of lay limping, and it was really awful. Then the cat did die within the hour, luckily, but they witnessed that, and now they look at Helen in a different way, their cat in a different way. So it's always going to make them think of the sea in a different way. It's always going to make them think about perhaps that memory. Maybe they won't remember it, but I think they probably will. It'll be remembered somewhere within their bodies. And they basically said straight away, is that a person? Is that a person? And we had to be like, okay, yeah, it is. And we're going to have to be now honouring how this plays out. So when the body was washed up, you could see that there was a couple that So we saw it before anyone was with the body. And then soon after, because there was a lifeguard placed there, wasn't there? So they were there.
I mean, I think I was very relieved that I wasn't actually going to have to deal with it.
I was like thinking, because no one had
Genuinely
seen
relieved.
it, and I didn't know if there was anyone there.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh shit, like there's no, because it was early in the morning, and I was
Yeah.
thinking, oh shit, are we going to have to deal with this? And like, I don't even know where to start. So anyway, so that was lucky. But they were all hugging each other, and you could tell, I mean, this was a really tender moment to witness. This was a really tender moment. They dealt with it pretty instantaneously. So, you know, there was the lifeboat. And what I wanted to happen, and I think that's what everyone needs as a human being, is some kind of closure. Without closure, you're left with this like open narrative. And so what happened was that they got to witness the closure from the start of the body being washed up to hearing the narrative of how this happened, to seeing them being tended to by first on the land, then by the sea. So they had somebody move the body with them. Then the police came, and then they put a cover over the body, and then they were able to see the closure of the body being taken by the men to the ambulance and taken away by the ambulance. And I think that's the closure that they needed, because if we'd have rushed off and said, okay, even though we couldn't have really, but if there was a way of doing that, and they had heard it or seen it or heard us talk about it, then there wouldn't have been that cycle that they would have seen, you know.
I think it was okay for them to see. You know, we're very funny about death in the UK in general, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's almost like one of the last taboos, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's not something that anybody wants to talk about.
But I think it's one of those things. Yeah, I mean, I think it was important for them to see. Also, you know, very, like I say, like very valuable life lesson in terms of like the sea. You know, the
reality.
sea. It's the ultimate FAFO parent, really, isn't it?
Yeah, fuck about and find out. You know,
it's just, you know, all we can do is just try and be as sensible as possible.
What we asked was, so a guy came. He had one of those, which is honestly blowing my mind. Now I've seen it and now I can't unsee it. They have these tiny rings in Morocco.
Oh, okay. Well, we can take a second just to, yes, absolutely. It's massively interesting.
Yeah, he has these like, they have these rings, and then they go on
like
them.
Floaties.
Yeah, and then they go on them. They get in like their just basically clothes, and they put all their fishing gear in it. I mean, they're laden, and then they put these flippers on, and they flip her out into the centre of the sea, and then they just fish on them.
Yeah.
Fucking fascinating. Anyway, he came and said, you don't suppose you've got any thing to... He had a hole in his ring, and we actually had a puncture kit, so we gave him that. And then he explained that the guy basically, about 2 days before, fishermen had seen him swimming, and he got in trouble in the current, and he got caught in the rocks, and there was nothing anybody could do about it. The body was lost, and they were just waiting for the body to come up on shore. He was an older man. It was funny because he said he was older, you know. And then you went, how old do you reckon he was? And he was like, you know, he's like in his 40s, 45. I was like, and I looked at him and I thought, not being funny, mate, but you're about the same age.
Would we say that's old?
It's not old. Is it?
He must have been a bit older than that.
But this is the thing, is that he was saying that not a strong swimmer, and I actually looked it up. So the stats online say that tens of thousands of people get into trouble in the sea in Morocco. Somebody was saying, that's because they don't have swimming lessons maybe in Morocco, like the way that, you know, they're not, you can see that some of them are not strong swimmers. But that made me realise, I was like, well, Arlo's had swimming lessons, but the twins haven't. And it sort of made me, because I had some lessons at school, but there's definitely a part of me now that's like, we really need to at some point get them some level of formal lesson just to build up their resilience and strength. But yeah, that was basically what had happened. And I mean, that's as far as we know. I don't know about family or anything like that, but yeah, he was clearly, from how he was dressed in just his trunks, out for a swim. And that's the reality of what we were witnessing. And we could see that he was literally just out for a swim. But yeah, the 3 children were witnessing it in a way that was interesting, because then you can see how they're absorbing it and attending to it and kind of processing it. And Arlo was like, fuck, like in when Zanti had a seizure, like, fuck this, I'm not witnessing this. Like, this is let's go. Let's get out of here. We're done. No, now what are they doing? Oh my God. no, and he kept coming in and didn't he? And then kept like disappearing off and being like, oh, no, it's too much. No, I think we definitely need to leave. Mummy, we are leaving, aren't we? We're leaving, right? And then there was Paloma like, Mummy, do you reckon someone will want his trunks? I'm like, no, babe, I don't think anyone wants his trunks. No. Are you sad that he's dead? Like, literally, these ridiculous questions. You know what she's like? Like, just like, trying to like make a joke. Can't make it light. And then Xanthi was like, no. Amma. Well, I want to see him. Are they going to lift him? I want to see it. I want to watch it. Can I go down? Can I see? Are they going to carry him? How are they going to carry him? Are they going to... What's the ambulance? Where's the ambulance? You know, like literally wanting to get the ins and outs.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like witnessing through.
That was fascinating.
The way they process it is like, and how then as adults we process it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was... a good reminder for you when you dick around in the sea.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, well, I am sensible. And I do listen to lifeguards, even though I feel that little prick of shame.
Do you actually listen to them?
I respect what they do. They know what they're doing.
Do they?
They know, you know, they know their patch.
What I find interesting is that here in Morocco, we've seen lifeguards like quite a lot along the coast. Even in places like this beach, there's no one there, but they had lifeguards.
Yeah.
And in places like Margate, where they've got the tidal pool, where there are, and I mean hundreds of people in the summer, not a single lifeguard. They got rid of him.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic that don't at least have one at the tidal pool.
It's pathetic that they don't have one there. Like, it's a main tourist attraction.
Just going to talk. You wanted to talk a little bit about potentially what's coming up in terms of nomestia stuff.
Well, I'm tending to this idea, and I've been in contact with the relevant people to make and help this come to fruition. And it's something that I really want to be intentional and gentle about. And I'm not going to be here doing any hard selling on it, but I want to think about the community that we want to carve out is a community that are listening and engaging because they really want to be part of the conversation and hear a bit about somebody else who's trying to make it work in this world, not necessarily in the way that they would want to do it, or maybe in a way they would want to do it one day, or maybe just witnessing it and being like, well, I would never do what they're doing, but fascinated either way.
Yeah.
And I want to hear like how we can and see how we can build this community over the next few years. You know, this is a slow, intentional space that I'm building with you doing, you know, the editing and the helping. And I really want to make sure that together we create something that feels like we're really proud of it. And the children are part of the journey. And sometimes people message and say, I really enjoyed listening to the podcast. So there is a community forming, even if people don't necessarily realise that they are part of something. And I want them to feel like they are part of something, anyone who listens and engages. And I was thinking about, and I've been thinking for a long time about how I would do that. So when I first started Nomestia, I always thought about this kind of concept where basically people would join the field. So the field is the place where the sheep would be, right? And the whole point of Nomestia is that you're kind of thinking about how you're moving away from the flock of the usual sheep just following the sheep, or cows in the herd, or however you want to put it. And we normally end up in this situation where we all just follow what somebody else says. And with what we're creating and the words that I write and the tending that we're doing to the way that we share the stories, all I'm thinking about is how people might interpret that in their own lives and what they might apply to their own lives. So we're not following the flock. So it's kind of a play on that, to join the field and be in the field. And basically I'm going to put a link on the bottom of the podcast, and I'm going to bring it up, in the podcast to remind people. So if you just join the link, it'll be like a link to a flow desk. And that will pop your name into a list of people who would be interested in receiving something from our space, from the hearth of Nomestia, to remind you of something that you're part of, to remind you that you're part of a space and a community that exists, and exists for the reasons that I think that the world is needing more and more, you know, this like space of truth and acknowledging that we're all just trying to do our best. And that's what Nomestia is always ever about. And I would love to be able just to send a small site, kind of like this. It's like when you receive it, it's a feeling and you want to feel this journey in this space rather than it just being something that you ordered. And when you open it, you're like, yeah, I get it. I get what this is about. I get why I'm listening. I get why I'm here in this very moment. And so if anybody would be interested in joining that list and being part of the field, then I'll put a link and then people can just pop their emails and their names. And when we're ready, we'll share more about what this in-person, tangible gift will be, how much it will be, and all you would get is an email that says, you know, welcome, and pop your name, address, and your card details in if you really would love to receive something as part of being in this space with us. And then that will be sent towards the end of autumn, beginning of winter, when we return back to the UK. And then once we're back in the UK, then we'll be sorting it and hopefully meeting up with the people that are going to help us sort it. And then we're going to leave again. So once we leave again, there won't be an opportunity to receive it. It's just this one-time opportunity to receive this seasonal drop, I suppose. And then when we come back, we'll be able to give another one if anybody wants to join and receive. So it's how we show our appreciation and how people receive. And this is a reciprocal kind of space that I would like to create if people be interested. All right.
Thank you, Gnomes. Thank you for listening. I'm just going to say thank you for listening. Thanks.
Nomestia. So, hi guys. So we're going to be talking about Helen today. So, Helen is actually a really, really cute cat. So, Helen is actually a really, really cute cat. So, Helen is actually a really, really cute cat.
Stop touching it.
So, So we're going to be talking about Helen and we... This is not supposed to be in it!
You know why I was for it.
I'm just going to eat a sandwich.